This video is for friends who we hunted with before, friends who went with us on the hunt, friends who are considering future hunting opportunities in Canada, and anyone who may be considering taking a trip to hunt ducks and geese in Canada. When you go up to Canada to hunt, particularly the way we did, there's some risk, there's maybe some travel frustrations, expenses and expensive time as well. So we're going to tell you a quick story about how we had 2 great days of hunting and 2 fun days of hunting on the 4 days that we were in Canada. So first, let's talk about the trip up. There's 5 of us, 3 from Alabama, 2 from Texas. I was scheduled to go Birmingham, Atlanta, Calgary, and then to Edmonton. And during my flight, I got a text that the flights might be delayed. So I elected to call Delta and be rebooked on United going from Atlanta to Denver into Edmonton. This was a mistake. 2 other hunters from Alabama were on the same flights. They elected to stay on those flights and take the risk that they were going to be spending the night in the Calgary airport. As it worked out, all 3 of us got to Edmonton late. The guys from Texas were supposed to go from Houston to Calgary to Edmonton. They were delayed, so they ended up going Houston, Vancouver to Edmonton. So everybody got in there late. When I got there, my bag was not there in United. It's 15 days later. It's still not there. I'm filing claims for those contents. My friends from Alabama, they made it. Their bags made it. We went out to get the rent-a-car, and it was after midnight. All the rent-a-car agencies were closed, which is totally okay. Went to the Hampton Inn for a few hours sleep, and then came back to the airport to pick up the rent-a-car. Then we had a trip to Cabela's for hunting licenses. I was able to pick up some rubber boots, some camo rain pants. I had a Gore-Tex shell with me, a green Gore-Tex shell. So that was enough for me to get started on the hunt. Next, I went to Costco, picked up underwear, socks, sweatshirts, so I had enough layers to keep me warm. It wasn't that cold when we were up there. I'll show some pictures with you about how much it warmed up towards the end. We want to tell you about the routine we did every day. We would leave the house in Edmonton about 4:30, drive an hour out into a rural area, set up blinds, put out decoys. We'd shoot until about 9:30 or 10, take down the blind, put up the decoys, store the decoys, clean everything up, then a drive back to Edmonton, and we'd get a big meal at Cora's, a chain that we really enjoy in Alberta, have used in past years. So after that big meal, we'd take a rest. Then we'd leave the house in Edmonton again about 3:30, an hour drive out to the field, set up the blinds, set up the decoys, and then hunt to about 7:30 or 8. Then clean up, grab some fast food on the way back to Edmonton, and we'd be back to the house 9:30 or 10. So get up the next morning and do it again. So we were hunting with a friend in Canada who had a 4x4 truck, decoys and blinds. He had a rental house. He was not staying in the same rental house with us. He had his rental for support his construction business in the oil and gas industry. This was not an outfitter hunt. If you want to have less of drives, less of the planning, more of the meals planned, lodging closer to the hunting area, hire an outfitter. We had a good time doing this. This is a group that's hunted together before. We all pitched in, had a good sense of humor about any of the obstacles we had. We're going to show you some pictures. We had some great hunts, and then we also had some fun days where we didn't shoot as much, but we saw a lot of birds. All right, we're setting up the blind. And it's with O-Dark 15.
One of you guys might have to trade me.
Okay, guys, I got you on the camera now. It's September, what, the 19th?
Yes, sir.
And we're out somewhere outside of Edmonton, Alberta. We don't know where. We weren't paying attention.
That's the point. You're not supposed to know.
Right, we don't know where we are, and it's raining a little bit, but not bad, and we're set up for a good hunt in a few minutes.
Bird right there. What's that?
The morning of the first day, it was raining in the high 40s. As the front came through, the rain stopped and it cooled off to the low 40s. It was a great day for shooting ducks and geese.
Let him swing once.
Might give it a couple minutes just to be safe.
You want to give it a
By 10 o'clock, we'd shot our limit of ducks and geese. That's 8 ducks and 8 geese for each hunter. When you hunt in a blind like this, it's team shooting. Many times shooters will shoot at the same duck or goose. All right, Dad, tell us a story about this banded goose you shot, how far away it was.
He came in, we saw him probably 300 yards out. He was low and had a bead on us. Looked like a bomber coming in and landing on an aircraft
When did you
carrier.
spot the band on the goose before you pulled the trigger?
Well, there were 2 in the air, and I saw one had a band and one didn't. So I picked this one out, and I hit him dead square.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
All kidding aside, we don't know who shot the banded goose. This is one of my best days hunting and shooting geese. Since we shot our limit in the morning, there was time for a nice dinner at Earl's, one of our Alberta favorites. So we got to have a nice dinner that night and got to bed at a reasonable time. The next
right here,
morning
right
it
here,
was
on the
still
right.
cloudy and cool,
Let him get tight.
and we were able to have another really nice hunt and able to shoot a lot of birds. Not our limit, but it's still a great morning.
Kill him, boys. Kill him. Kill him.
Right in front of us. Yeah, we should have shot in.
I was looking under the left. Sorry.
Okay, the street right in front, Dylan.
Over here. In the Jeep. Let's go.
By the afternoon of the second day, the skies were starting to clear up and warm up. So the shooting was a little bit more challenging. Day 3, the morning, there was frost on the ground, but it warmed up very rapidly. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. By the afternoon of the third day, temperature was in the low 70s, and we were working in setting up everything, t-shirts, shorts.
Somebody left their
This made the hunting a little more challenging. Still saw a lot of birds, but not as many in range.
Oh yeah, right on the deck.
Saw a lot of birds, shot a few. Still a lot of fun that day. We finished early enough for a late dinner at Earl's, and then the next morning traveled back to the States. There were no airline travel-related issues flying back to the States. Again, we go Edmonton to Calgary. You can clear U.S. Customs in Calgary. I had an extra half an hour delay. The automated payment terminal at the Birmingham airport ate my credit card. The trip was special for me. 2 exceptional days of hunting and shooting ducks, and with a good group of friends.